Hey everyone, and welcome to another reading vlog. I hope you are all doing good. I don't even know how to start this vlog because it's been so long since I've had to film myself and since I've been on camera, so I feel a little bit awkward. Please just bear with me because I'm sure it's going to be fine once I get back into the swing of things, but because of moving house I just haven't picked up my camera in around 2 weeks, I think. I am going to be filming another video this weekend. I started filming a bookshelf reorganisation video, which I need to finish when we actually do the reorganisation now that I'm in the new flat. I mean, I call it a new flat. This is my boyfriend's flat that I've moved into, so it's not technically new because he was living here before, and also I have filmed here before. I don't know if you're even going to be able to recognise the background because we've moved all of the bookshelves that were behind me into the spare room to create like a library room. So why am I rambling? No one cares about this. The point is that this is a new weekly reading vlog, possibly. It might end up being a fortnightly weekend vlog. It might end up running for 2 weeks. It could run for just this weekend. I haven't decided yet. Basically, I just wanted to get back into the swing of vlogging again because I obviously haven't done it for a while, and the longer I leave it, the harder that it's going to be. So the plan for this vlog is to read some witchy books. I did have this plan actually. I came up with this idea a while ago, and it's not a super original idea, but a few months ago I was trying to plan out content for the rest of the year, and I thought, why don't I read witchy books for Halloween? Because I have a few on my TBR that I want to get round to, and I feel in the mood to read them right now. So that is the plan for this vlog in terms of reading. But then this weekend I'm also going to Cheltenham Lit Festival in Cheltenham, which obviously makes sense because it's the Cheltenham Lit Festival. See what I mean when I say that I'm struggling to get back into the swing of things? But yeah, me and my boyfriend have tickets to see Taylor Jenkins Reid's talk, which I'm really excited about. I think we are gonna take some books to see if we can get them signed. I don't know whether she is going to be signing books, but I'm still really looking forward to just the festival in general, because I went to Hay Festival a few months ago and really enjoyed that. I just love being surrounded by bookish stuff, you know, like book related stuff, like authors and just other people who are enthusiastic about reading. So yeah, that should be a fun weekend. What have I even got left to ramble about? I don't know. I am going to start a new book hopefully either tonight or tomorrow. I am currently finishing Wrath by John Gwynne, and then I'm also currently listening to the audiobook of Ship of Magic. No, I keep doing that. Ship of Destiny. So I'm about to finish, hopefully I'm going to finish them, but I'm about to finish 2 epic fantasy series, and I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter. So I think, yeah, either today or tomorrow I'm going to start the Ex Hex by Erin Sterling, I think is the author. I actually found out recently that Erin Sterling is a pen name for another author who I haven't read from before, but I have heard of their books. But yeah, basically I'm going to be starting the Ex Hex hopefully tonight or tomorrow, and then I will obviously keep you updated with reading updates and stuff. Apologies if this has been a mess of an introduction, but I am a little bit rusty from not being on camera for a few weeks, but hopefully things will just smooth out as we get into the vlog. I tried to film this clip earlier, but I've just gone to edit it and the lighting was horrendous. So that's the last time I try and film from that angle in the spare room. But I, yeah, wanted to do a quick update because I made a start on the Ex Hex last night. I think I'm around a third of the way through. It's quite a short book though. I think it's less than 300 pages. I don't think I actually explained what this book is about, but we're basically following a witch called Vivian, who, when she she was 19, she had this very brief relationship with a guy called Reese, and it didn't end well. He kind of broke her heart, so she got drunk not long after the breakup, and her cousin kind of put a hex on him, but they weren't doing it in a serious way. They never expected it to actually work. However, the story then picks up 9 years later, and Reese returns to town, and they find out that maybe this hex worked a little better than they initially thought. Don't have a lot to say on this at the moment. It's just fine so far. I really like the small town setting and the general atmosphere of the town and how it feels very autumnal. I'm hoping that I can finish it either tonight or tomorrow, and then I can start a new book over the weekend. I think the next book that I'm planning to pick up is The Once and Future Witches by Alix Harrow. So this, I think, has a slightly different vibe because it's historical. It's set in 1893 and it's about witches during the suffragette movement from what I remember. So really excited to get around to this because I've heard really good things about Alix Harrow's writing style, and it sounds like the kind of book that I would enjoy because I do tend to like historical settings. So I'm hoping to start this over the weekend because it is around 500 pages, so I'm expecting it to take me a while to read. I also bought some new clothes this week, which I shouldn't be doing because I've literally just had a big clear out with moving house and stuff, but I wanted to treat myself, so I got a few bits from Joni Clothing, which is one of my favourite online stores. I think they're based in the UK, but they do ship internationally. This isn't sponsored or anything, by the way, I just really love their clothes. And I spotted this jumper, which I will hold up, but it's got like bookshelves on it, and I just thought it was really cute and I thought I could wear it in videos and stuff. So, oh my gosh, it's really soft as well. I also got this really cute cat print dress, which again, I don't know how well it's gonna pick it up on camera, but it's got this really cute cat print, and I just love cat print clothing. Just anything that's got a cute animal print, it's guaranteed to be something that I'm gonna want. Then the last thing that I got, which is also really soft, but it's this autumnal jumper. It's got like squirrels and stuff on it. I don't know again how well you're going to be able to see that, but I thought I could start wearing this in autumn because it's not too Christmassy, and then yeah, it's very festive as well. I don't know, what's the name of this pattern? There's a specific name, I think, for this kind of pattern, and I can't remember it, but yeah, I've wanted a jumper like this for ages. I'm pretty sure I saw this on the website last year and I came really close to buying it, but then I told myself, no, you've got too many Christmas jumpers. But I got rid of a load of my Christmas jumpers when I moved house because they either don't fit me anymore or they've gone really bobbly. So I thought, perfect opportunity to treat myself, and I'm really happy with this. It's got little mushrooms on it as well. Look, it's so cute. I love it. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to vlog anything tomorrow because I'm popping back to my old house to sort through some more crap. Basically, I am feeling a little bit stressed with how much I still need to do at my old house, even though I've moved most of my stuff over now. So I'm probably not gonna have time to vlog tomorrow, but I will be vlogging at the weekend because I'm going to see Taylor Jenkins Reid at Cheltenham Lit Festival. I know I've already mentioned it, but I am so excited.
jump too big, too tall a task. You just have to ask. You just have to. You just have to. You just have to ask. I'll stay with you while the spring storms pass.
Okay, so I've just sat down to film this clip and I've realised that my camera battery is running low, so hopefully I can talk really fast and get through this before it runs out. But I wanted to update you on a couple of things. So first of all, the new bookshelves. Me and Sam spent hours yesterday organising all of our books and we finally got it to a place where we're both happy, and I'm really happy actually with this filming setup. So I've just realised that this chair is really creaky, so if you hear that in the background while I'm talking, it's because I'm generally quite fidgety and I'm quite expressive when I talk, and especially when I talk about books because I get excited. So if you hear any creaking in the background, then I am really sorry. What I was saying though was that I have just been playing around this morning trying to find the right filming angle, and I think I've got it because there's a big window to my right, so it lets in all of the natural light. And yeah, I'm just really excited now to film some sit down videos in this spot. I think it's gonna look really good, hopefully. Cheltenham on Saturday, by the way, was really good. I mean, the actual festival was just okay, but the Taylor Jenkins Reid talk was so immersive, and I don't really know what I was expecting because I've not really been to many author events, but Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favourite authors. I mean, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is probably my favourite book of all time, or one of my favourite books. I don't like to commit to just one book being my favourite, but I love her books, and just hearing her talk about them and hearing her talk about her writing process, it was just very captivating. I mean, I don't know why I'm so surprised that Taylor Jenkins Reid is so good at delivering a story, but every time she spoke during this event, I just wanted to listen to her. Does that sound weird? I don't know whether I've explained that very well, but for example, she was talking about how she came up with the idea of Daisy Jones and the Six, and how she was listening to a lot of musical duets, and she had this idea of writing a story about two lead singers who fall in love, and she was thinking to herself, oh, but I've just released The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so do I want to be the author who just writes about famous people? And then it clicked, hang on a minute, I could be the author that writes about famous people. And she was just so funny, and it was just a really good evening. I think the talk was around an hour, but there was also audience questions and stuff, so it ran over a little bit, but it was just, yeah, it was so good. I didn't film much of anything while I was there. I filmed a little bit before the actual talk, but obviously during the discussion they asked for no cameras or anything to be out, and I wouldn't have wanted to anyway because I was just so captivated by the whole thing. It was just, yeah, really good experience. I want to go to more author events now. It was just such a fun evening. I mean, it was a late night. I think we finally got back home around 11-ish. I think the event was meant to finish at 9:30, but it ran over a little bit. So by the time we got home, it was, yeah, quite late. And then on Sunday, we were doing the bookshelf reorganisation. So I didn't really have time to think much yesterday. I was so tired. I did actually, though, on Saturday before we went into Cheltenham, I finished the Ex Hex by Erin Sterling. And I think I'm going to give this like a 3 stars, but it's not a disappointing 3 stars. It's more of a, I enjoyed that at the time, but I'm never going to think about it again kind of 3 stars. Like, it was fine. It was quite fun in places. I just didn't really feel that invested in the characters' relationship. I think the way that I I'd explain it is that I really liked the plot and how we were following these characters as they were trying to break this curse. When I read an enemies to lovers romance, I want them to spend a good amount of time feeling like enemies, and in this book it just never really happened. It did feel really rushed, and they didn't really spend that much time not liking each other. I would have liked more build up and more tension, and also it really annoyed me how the tone of this book made me think that it was going to be really smutty, and it was almost like the author wanted it to be that but wasn't willing to commit 100%, and so it ended up feeling just a little bit flat. So yeah, like I said, a very average 3-star read. However, I am planning on starting the Once and Future Witches this evening. I wanted to start it last night, but I just didn't have the energy. So I'm going to start it this evening, hopefully, and then read that throughout this week. And yeah, just keep you updated on my thoughts. I have very high hopes though. I'm hoping that I'm not disappointed and I haven't built it up too much in my head, but I'm really excited. I really want to get stuck into something that's, I guess, a little more meaty. I feel like the Ex Hex was quite a light read, but the Once and Future Witches has a lot more deeper themes, so hopefully this is going to be a good one. Hello, it is now Tuesday and I am feeling really sluggish today. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. It's because I woke up really early so I could go for a walk before work, and then work has just been really busy today. However, I have just finished and I'm looking forward to chilling this evening. What am I doing this evening? I think me and Sam are going to watch House of the Dragon because we didn't get around to watching it yesterday, and I've heard that this week's episode is really good. I'm making sweet potato mac and cheese as well for dinner this evening, and I am so excited because it's my favourite thing to cook. I don't make it that often because it takes a while to make and to prepare, but I'm going to start that now before Sam gets home from work. And then, I just remembered what the third thing was. There was 3 things that I was looking forward to this evening, and the third is The Once and Future Witches by Alix Harrow, which I started last night. I'm around 60 pages in and I'm really enjoying it so far. I really like the writing style. I like that it's descriptive, but it's not so overly descriptive that it overpowers everything else. And this is basically about 3 sisters who have started to drift apart. Actually, I don't know what I'm saying. They haven't started to drift apart. They have drifted apart and they haven't seen each other for many years at the start of this book. Then there's this rally, I guess you would call it, that the suffragette movement in New Salem are doing at the start of this book that draws all 3 sisters together, and they witness this magical event. So all 3 sisters are kind of witches. They've been taught basic witchcraft by their grandmother. However, there aren't really witches anymore. The youngest sister then becomes convinced that the way to bring back magic is through the suffragette movement. I think that's what I've grasped so far. But like I said, really enjoying this and I am excited to continue. I do tend to love books that are about sister relationships, and the sister relationships in this so far have been very complex. So excited, like I said, to dive into this again this evening. I haven't decided yet when I want this vlog to go live. I was thinking maybe at the weekend, but that should give me enough time to finish this, because even though it's quite slow paced, I think that I'm going to become so immersed in the story that I'm going to want to keep on reading and I'm going to struggle to put it down. So I am here to do a very quick update on the Once and Future Witches, which I am now 160 pages into. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm past part 1 and I'm really enjoying it so far. I wasn't sure going into this whether it was going to feel more historical or more fantasy. I kind of assumed it was going to feel more historical, and I stick by that, but actually I feel like the fantasy elements are also really interesting. Did I explain what this book is about? I think I started to. Basically, this is set in what feels like our world in the 1800s, but it's not, because there's a few small differences. It's almost like a parallel world where, yeah, there's a few things that are different. Like, instead of the Brothers Grimm, like the people who wrote the fairy tales, it's the Sisters Grimm. Little details like that have been changed, which I quite like actually. It feels very feminist. We all know what happened to witches in the past. We know that any woman who was accused of being a witch was burned at the stake or they were murdered, and we also kind of know why. It's because of men, because we know that men didn't like this idea of women having power. So it's really interesting that this is set to the backdrop of the suffragette movement, which is all linked, and so basically these characters are trying to bring back the full potential of witchcraft. There is still magic that exists in this world because it's been passed down through generations, but it's, yes, still kind of repressed, and so we're following these characters who are trying to release magic. Yeah, it's basically about these characters trying to reclaim their power, and I am here for it. I am really enjoying the characters in this book so far, and there's also a really sweet romance that's starting to develop, I think, and again, I'm really interested to see how that goes. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this because I've got to try and hold it up with just the one hand, but there's also spells at the start of each chapter, and there's also fairy tales as well, kind of sprinkled throughout, and I just really like all of those details. I think that's what's making me feel really immersed in the story, and yeah, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I don't want to say that this is going to be a new favourite or that it's going to be 5 stars, because I don't want to be disappointed if it's not, but I'm really excited about this and I'm having a good time with it, which is obviously the main thing. It has been a very busy few days, but I am determined to finish this today. I am on page 350-ish, so I've got less than 200 pages to go. I think I should be able to finish it today. I have been reading it, I've been really enjoying it. I really like the characters and just, I don't know, the general atmosphere. It feels very witchy. So if you want a book that does focus on witchcraft and witches, then I would recommend this. However, I wouldn't recommend this if you don't like very lyrical writing or writing that uses a lot of metaphors. I think that's the main criticism that I've seen from looking at reviews, is that some people didn't get along with the writing style. I do find sometimes that very beautiful writing or very descriptive writing, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't like it, but I like it in this book. So yeah, my only criticism so far is that the pacing has felt a little slow in places, and I understand that it's meant to be very slow paced and very character driven, but the pacing hasn't been consistent. So there's been a few moments in the middle where I found that it's dragged a little bit. I might need to pop into town later, but it's raining and I can't be bothered. So hopefully I can just settle down on the sofa and blast through the rest of this afternoon. That is the plan. Let's see if it actually happens. Completely unrelated though, I went to see Smile at the cinema on Friday, and oh my goodness, I can't remember the last time I watched a horror movie that scared me that much. It was, yeah, really good. I think if you like horror movies that have a lot of jump scares, then would recommend it. Yeah, haven't been that scared in a long time watching a horror movie. It is now Sunday evening and I can't remember what I was going to say. I did pop into town earlier, but the main reason I went into town was because I wanted to upgrade my phone and they didn't have the phone that I wanted in stock. So I'm just going to try again, I think, in a few weeks. I don't know whether to order it online, but I think they have better deals in store. So I might wait until nearer Christmas because I think they'll have better offers nearer to Christmas. You can tell that I'm tired. It's gone 8 o'clock now, but I did finish The Once and Future Witches about half an hour ago actually, and I really enjoyed this. I think I'm going to give it like a solid 4 stars. I can't really think of a particular reason why it wasn't 5 stars for me. I did have a few issues with the pacing in particular, and I think it lost its way a little bit. I think it could have been just a little bit shorter, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked the sister relationships in this. So there's 3 sisters that are, I guess, the 3 main characters. There's June, who's the youngest, and she's the wild one, the fearless one, and the one who is a little bit out of control. Agnes is the middle sister, and she's described as being very strong and steady. And then the eldest sister is Bella, and she's the quiet and clever one. So each of these sisters have very distinct personalities, but they also kind of overlap at times. So yeah, I think that was my favourite thing about this book. I have sisters myself, I have 3 sisters, so I always enjoy reading about sister relationships in books. This reminded me a lot of Laini Taylor's books in terms of the writing style and the way that everything came together in the end, but it also reminded me a little bit of Outlander, and I can't really explain why other than they're both historical fantasies. I guess Outlander is more science fiction, but this had a sense of adventure running through it. I wouldn't say that it was a fun read because it was quite sad at times, but I think that sense of adventure and the fact that it is very character driven is what reminded me of Outlander. I don't know if that's going to make any sense, but yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say about this book. I did also actually wanted to say thanks again to Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads for sending me this for my birthday last year, I think it was. Yeah, solid 4 stars, and I would recommend it. It was the perfect autumnal read. I think that just reading it around this time of year definitely added to the magic. So yeah, I would say that this has been a pretty successful reading vlog. I didn't intend initially for this vlog to go on for 2 weeks, but I found that I just didn't have enough content to make a weekly vlog or a weekend vlog, so I just kept going and going. But thanks for watching. If you did make it this far, let me know in the comments if you've read The Once and Future Witches or the Ex Hex, which it seems like a long time ago that I read that, but that was the other book that I read in this vlog. Let me know if you're excited for Halloween and what you've been reading. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, and I will see you next time. Bye.